All right, hello world. Let's see who's awake tonight. Um, if you stumble into this recording or stream, just going to be working on a couple of things. Just off the bat, what you see on the screen is a chessboard. This little stream aid game, whatever you want to define it as, is controlled by the live chat on YouTube. It's also a web app built on top of WebRTC, React, WebGL, and Canvas. I'm basically just gonna, since time is limited, as usual, get on pretty late when it comes to actual talking code. We get too late. And the truth of the matter is, I'll be up anyway. Just insomniac. The more I have to sleep, the less I'm able to. Such is life, right? Just gonna make sure audio is coming through okay. Such is life, right? Looks like it is. As you can probably tell, this is a very small YouTube channel. It's my wee corner of the internet where I talk about things that I find relevant. And try tweaking some stuff. Curious if YouTube will push this out on the science and technology category. That's really the category that I want to bring any sort of viewership or chatters from, people that are interested in building things, coding things, and implementing creative ideas and seeing them to fruition. It's a tedious, exhausting, and often lonely process for most of us. And yeah, there's a couple of things that I wanted to work on tonight and talk about. If you've been catching my during the day streams, they are all done using Kynto. So that's this little technology you see here. It makes it possible for me to stream, show videos, share games, desktop, and build a little interactive chess game for YouTube. And obviously, YouTube has their own little games platform they're rolling out on YouTube. They did email me back asking some further questions. So try to see if I can actually get that up as well. Because then you could be able to control this game with more than just the live chat, which is how it works now. Anyone that types into the live chat, moderates your messages using ChatGPT. If it's clean, then it gets through and then actually gets shut out into the stream. And it kind of allows a conversational format. And I've had a few instances where I've came on and it was quite engaging. It was a good time. Another thing that I implemented in the past was the ability for users to just control these little avatars you see walking on screen. Some basic commands to, jump, change your coding, stuff like that. Well, I've got a wee bit of interest in chess now, and I'm not very good, but I'm fascinated by it. And what a better way to learn about the game than figuring out to code it. And typically, chess games at chess.com or live chess or Lee chess, I'm not sure it's pronounced, they just show you a top-down 2D format, and that might even be preferable to what I'm doing here. But there's no fun in just using what other people have built, especially when there's opportunities to let live chat control it. So there's a couple of things we could do with that. Users could type in moves and basically play me or guests that want to come in and play live chat. Obviously, you'd have to know chess notation. That's cool. So it's basically Walter went ahead and they found some decent chess assets on opengameart.com. It's one of those forums where people post game assets for people like me to come along and try and build something with it. So much appreciated to those people. So we got the pieces loaded in here, at least for white. You can move the pieces. This is all built on WebRTC, Node.js, React, all that fun stuff. And it would take more than just one stream or one explanation to kind of explain what I've built already. But I think working on a wee chess game in it will be not only a fun project, but kind of help me show what this thing is capable of. Like the background video you see playing and the cameras are all shared through Kynto as well. I kind of ran into some problems with OBS when it comes to wireless streaming. So if you want to set up like a camera and not have it plugged into your computer, which most of us probably want to do at least sometimes, you end up stumbling into technologies like NDI, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's like a paid solution. I think I ended up having to pay for it. It renews like every year. I was kind of surprised or shocked not to see a properly built out WebRTC plugin for OBS. I've not dug too deep into how NDI works, but I'm assuming that it's not just streaming over the LAN, it's probably going to a server. Could be wrong. WebRTC lets us do it all inside of the LAN for the most part. So, and you don't have to download or install anything. You can do it all via a website, which is what Kynto is at the heart. So that's part of it. And one of my goals tonight is I've got a bunch of code changes lined up. Let me see if I can switch the scenes over. Yeah, right there. Switch over on horizontal mode. Okay. So on the left bar contains all the changes that I've basically built up over the past couple of days, week or so of coding new features or improving the current ones. Most of those changes revolve around the streaming tools, the streaming aids, and some basic updates to ChatGPT integration. So the another thing is full ChatGPT integration. You could talk to it as an avatar in game. They all have different personas or personalities that you can define. And like I have one called Kynto Developer that I'm able to debug with, that I've told about the system and the system prompt, and it saves that. And I'm able to work through problems. So as I get more comfortable with this format, I'll start doing that, I guess, and recording it a wee bit. I think the end goal is to actually not just record it, but stream it, because I've got hours, probably days worth of recordings of me just coding and building stuff. But when it comes to editing and all that and narrating articulating a story or a narrative out of that, it's a wee bit difficult. So that's why I like this little chess challenge. Fascinating game, really cool. I've heard some people describe it as simple, and I think that is a vastly discounts it. Well, there is one of the things that made me find that I can approach it, at least just start playing it, start studying it, was when you break it down, there's only 6 unique pieces on the board. That removes a lot of barriers. And the next part to that is the fact that it integrates well into what I'm coding already. Kynto is a tile-based world. It's just an isometric perspective. But everything that I need to code a multiplayer chess game is already kind of in there. You already have the ability to spawn items, move items, and set different properties or rules based on what the item is and based on other items around it. And it's all networked, it's all tied into YouTube. It's you can easily expand it to, for the heck of it, ChatGPT play. I know there's Stockfish, which is like the top chess engine. But once again, where's the fun in that? Let's take technologies that are out there in a little wee bit more accessible and leverage them to do something. So what's next? Well, obviously right now I can drag pieces around, but there should be specific roles. Knights can only move in a L-shaped fashion. Rooks can only move horizontally or vertically. And it's offsetting this, it's isometric, so it's quite funny. I think the only item that's going to end up, or piece that's going to move in a up and down fashion, ironically, is the bishop, because we had an angle here. So if I grab a bishop right here, move it up and down the board, it's technically just going, you know, it's this Y location is decreasing or incrementing. But in the perspective of our chessboard, that's exactly right. So I have a whole plugin system already built out that I'm going to tie into this. And a couple examples of plugins I already have coded, so I can pull one up right now. So I could basically, items can influence each other. Like I can place a light on the chessboard, and you see it goes dark. I could grab that light and move it around, and it illuminates different tiles, it illuminates different items on that chessboard. So it's just kind of an example that I already have a system built out that's going to handle this quite nicely. I'll pick that up and return normal lighting. Another one I have coded in there is fire. So like I have tree items. You can put a bunch of trees in a room and put a fire next to the trees, and the trees will catch on fire and then spread fire, go out that way. I also implemented a game of life for fun in the tiles, so you could actually feed it by moving your cursor over the tiles, and that would activate those tiles, turn them on, the on state, and then the game of life loop would run from there. So I think I just listed 3 examples of dynamic plugins that I built for my system already that will give me a nice wee head start into what I want to do here. So if we break this down, I do have a wee couple of notes that I generated with the aid of AI to help me articulate. Let me see if I can scroll up and find them. What the hell is this? So this is how it starts. I'm just going to read it, cut out the awkward parts. All right, let's see who's awake tonight. Welcome back to the late night commits. I'm going to be working on a couple of things tonight. So if you're into live coding or weird streaming tools, or just want to hang out while I untangle some logic, you're in the right place. If you're new here or been popping in or out, probably new here if you've been watching this, here's a quick recap on what I've got going. I built a fully functioning, it's not fully functioning yet, that's what we're working on. I built a chessboard inside of Kynto, which is my avatar chat world that's powered by WebRTC and is integrated tightly with YouTube live chat. This board has labeled tiles, draggable pieces, and it's all happening in real time inside of a virtual room, accessible by web URL or just in a live stream right here. The goal is to eventually have players play against each other, or even play me or other guests that can actually play chess properly. probably based on like a vote system. So if 5 people type E4 and 1 person types G1, it would pick E4. Right now, pieces can move on the chessboard as a demoed. If we go over here, they move. You can drag them around. You can use your finger to move them, like on my phone or whatever. So I guess one of the things I need to know is actually adding a chat command layer. Could probably start on that tonight. And then come and code the rules after, since I already have YouTube live chat integrated with commands and messaging. As you can see, you can just drag pieces anywhere. That's bad. Go back over. So this obviously breaks the rules of chess. You're not supposed to just drag it anywhere. I mean, that'd be fine if you're playing on a real chessboard with someone else that can tell you, hey, don't do that. That's bad. But we're on the spaced internet and live. So we're going to be building actual logic. We're going to start with pawns and knights. And let me tell you, pawns might look simple, but they've got all sorts of little exceptions, such as first move, being able to move 2 tiles as opposed to just 1, which just happens after. Got en passant. We've got promotions. So if your pawn gets the edge of the board, you need to be able to generate it into a queen or a knight, whatever you would like to do. So coding the chess-specific logic, we're probably just going to start with pawns. That'll be the first thing. I like how chess.com, Lichess or Lichess does it, where if you tap on a pawn, for example, it'll show you the legal movements you can make in front of it by doing something to mark the tile. In our case, I'll just make the tile glow. I might have to, just because of how the chessboard is set up, reduce the opacity of all the other chess pieces on the board around it. That way you can see your chess piece. That's just one of the things we run into with working with isometric is little edge cases like that. So each piece is going to, in a sense, become its own little rule engine, and this will be managed by the server layer in this instance. So if you go move a piece, got to make sure you can actually move there. Maybe you can take something, maybe you can skip onto the next file, or so have you. And since this is part of Kynto, I want everything to be event-driven at its heart. Kynto is very modular. Everything is, and it comes with costs as well, but it comes with a ton of pros. The entire engine is event-based, so when I was moving that little pawn about, it's actually firing events into the browser saying, hey, I've just moved this item to this new tile, and I can have different bits of code respond to that. So it's listening, maybe I have a bit of code that just listens for the event for pawn when that moves. And then it's like, is that a legal move or not? If it's not, stop it, return it back to what it was, or don't let it be dragged in the first place. And just off the bat, multiplayer, all that is already done. Not to worry about all that. So we just get to focus on the fun part. I mentioned a wee bit earlier, eventually we'll be able to plug in AI or let viewers move the pieces in turn. But tonight, it's just us and the code and me talking to a camera. Okay, so switching gears to some of the code changes that I have up on the left-hand side. So for those familiar, this is a Visual Studio Code, or at least a part of it, what you can see. And basically get source control, listing all the files that I've modified that are different than the existing files in this branch. What I'm going to do is walk through the files that have active changes to that I want to merge. There's quite a handful of optimizations and new features and settings and toggles that I want to get live for the next live. Sometimes we're lucky enough to have a guest pop on, and that's quite fun. And this will make it a wee bit easier for them to share higher resolution screen shares video and audio. It's another thing I did make some changes for audio sharing. So another thing I'm not very good at, but I like messing around with is the keyboard, synthesizer, stuff like that. And I had to do some optimizations to get WebRTC and media stream to basically preserve as much of the audio as possible. So it sounds pretty good now. So I'm going to go ahead and get that committed. So I've mentioned these changes improve how fast peers can connect when sharing video and screens, which is at the heart and core of Kynto. When you first look at it, you just see a simple game and maybe a world builder if you've played some nostalgic games in the past, or you're familiar with like games from the past, basically. So I've been tightening up the code to reduce round trips and clean up the signaling process. There was some redundancies in there. Like there was 3 video players, one of them was in video invisible, all sorts of crap. I did disable a feature in the meantime to because it's not been used. I don't think I've even used it on stream yet. It took my face and basically used TensorFlow.js to map it to an avatar's face in real time. And well, that's fun. It was getting in the way of the main thing I do use it for, which is assembling streams, because it was running basically invisible video player, so I could have that available for processing. So I went ahead and disabled that for now. So if you've ever noticed a delay or flaky video in multi-user streams, if you're familiar with that, I mean, most of us are with remote work or Teams or Zoom or anything like that. That's the kind of thing I'm working on smoothing out. Kynto's whole streaming setup is designed to let you invite people into rooms, so I can just literally generate a link in the UI. It just says invite guest, and I can shoot that link over to someone. They don't even have to create an account. If I send that link, I basically take the responsibility that, if they abuse it, my account would be the one that gets banned, and that would be the same for any other user. With that link, they just get instantly loaded into a room much like this, and I'll ask them immediately if they want to share their screen or if they want to share their microphone or a video source. One of the benefits of working with a peer-to-peer is I don't have to bother standing up any more server infrastructure. It's got quite expensive to do that. As time's progressed, I feel like it's got even worse, especially with the lockdown of Amazon and Azure. The pricing models are quite terrible, and I just found myself become reliant on this stuff, even though I was able to get by quite well before it. Peer-to-peer takes that off of the server layer and puts it on the individual's devices. There's obviously cons with that as well. But one of the benefits of integrating tightly with YouTube or Twitch is being able to take that infrastructure load and just completely spread it out to them, and just use Kynto's peer-to-peer technology to basically assemble streams. I don't have to worry about scaling it or anything like that. I really don't, because I just generate a MPEG-4 and shoot that off, and then basically, voila, you see me through YouTube or Twitch, and they bear the load of that. And a couple of disadvantages of that is input options. I'm limited as far as that, and that's why the live chat is a main focus. Continue on. About to get to time here. Gonna have to wrap this up. I don't even know if I'll get to the commit process tonight, but I think if I was able to do a decent enough monologue explaining what this whole little project is, why the chess side quest is going to be a good exploration. Anyway, if you've got questions on what I'm building or coding in general, or any input as far as chess, WebRTC, or just what the heck this whole thing is, I'll do my best to explain this as I go. And think of the live chat as more of an interactive communication tool. Like it's literally reading it into my headphones real time, and you'll see an avatar created in the bottom left for YouTube or the top right for Twitch. And you can control the avatar. Those commands are not there just for show, not to type them. It won't read out your commands in the stream, you don't have to worry about that. And don't worry about being too rude. We'll filter that out. Or feel free just to lurk as I work through this. Appreciate you drop a like or a subscription. I think that's it. I think I have to start winding down. Gotta get up in the morning and get back to work. Busy all the time. One of the previous streams I did today was potting 25 or 30 longleaf pine trees. So we've got a slash pine forest area in my garden out there. It's probably got a dozen, maybe 15 trees. And over the years, they've been slowly dying. So I've been looking for ways to kind of regenerate that. And I was able to use Kynto today to wirelessly stream outside. And one of the cool things about that, using Kynto over using just YouTube on my phone, is if I use YouTube and stream and walk around to an area where the Wi-Fi drops out, I don't have cell service out here essentially, the stream will just spin on and on and on. I look on my phone like it's running fine, even if the internet's resolved. But the stream's essentially broken, so no one stumbles into it, won't see anything. Running this stream through Kynto, I can go in and out of internet, the stream persists, and then I'm able to reshare or even throw up another camera phone or come into my desk and say, hey, my phone died. And it's all seamless. And just a little reminder on the functionality here and how it works. Live chat drives these little characters down here. They'll soon be driving the chessboard as well. You can jump, you can move around. You can actually build little rooms as well. You can do so much more than that, but I think it's important for me to highlight the fact that you can control these little things. Let me zoom in, move it more into view. Each one of these little avatars represents someone that's either on the website page room for this or in the live chat. And the whole thing is user configurable. So I'm kind of building it tile by tile, line by line, idea by idea. Yeah. Cheers for joining me, those that stumbled into this. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your time. Have a good one.